What's happening, everybody? Steve here, and today I'm going to show you how to use the adaptive cruise control system inside of all Lincoln vehicles. Now, this is just going to be a video on the Corsair, but the steering wheel setup for the Corsair and the Aviator are the exact same, with the Navigator and the Nautilus being the same on top of that. So, big differences between the Corsair and then the Nautilus would be the button placement. So, just turning the vehicle on. Inside of the Corsair and the Aviator, we've got a button where it essentially hides and shows all of the different adaptive cruise control buttons. In comparison, when we're in the Nautilus and the Navigator, all of the different buttons are going to be just on the left-hand side. So there's a pad on both of those steering wheels for you to be able to adjust as necessary. But it still works equally as easy for the entire vehicle lineup. So whether you're in the Corsair or the Navigator, whatever the case may be, there's a button that we're going to push just to turn the whole system on. And we know it's turned on because if you've got the optional head-up display, it shows you inside of the display. It'll also show you inside of the cluster screen on top of that. And we know it's turned on because all of the buttons become illuminated. So inside of the Corsair and the Aviator, the buttons just disappear, versus inside of the Nautilus and the Navigator, it's going to be just a pad, as I mentioned, along the left-hand side of the wheel. So series of different buttons. Along the left side, it's going to be a resume button. So if you have to brake or if the vehicle comes to a complete stop, we would just tap resume in order to resume whatever our set speed is. So we've got a resume button there, and then set for plus or minus. So we can either increase or decrease 1 kilometer or 1 mile per hour at a time. Along the right-hand side, we've got a base cancel button, so we can turn our current speed off if we want to. We've got it looks like a car with a steering wheel on it in a lane essentially, and that's going to be our lane centering system. So we've got our lane centering system and then our lane keeping system that we can toggle on. So lane keeping is the one on the left stick versus the lane centering system is part of the adaptive cruise system. So what the lane centering does is going to keep us perfectly balanced in our lane. And as long as the vehicle recognizes the lane marking. So it's going to go green when it's ready and set to go. And then we've also got a distance indicator. So how close or how far do we want to be away from the vehicle that's in front of us? I recommend just for regular city driving, you're normally about 2 or so, but on the highway, I usually recommend 3 or 4 for the distance away from you and the vehicle in front of you. Just make sure that you provide ample stopping distance for yourself. So, I mean, it's very straightforward to use this thing, so let's have a little bit of fun and I'll show you how it works. In a live road test as well, which is going to be great. So, first things first, what we're going to do, flip ourselves into drive, and the system is currently turned on. Once we get to our cruising speed, we're going to have a little bit of fun. This is going to be good. It's really straightforward using this system on top of that. The big one is, I mean, just practicing. It's like anything, whether you're using the park assist system, the adaptive cruise system, works the exact same way. All right, and one of the cool things, so I've got the adaptive cruise system turned on, and it's also got one of the added systems for the intelligent cruise. So the intelligent cruise, so it's on, I've got it set now at 50 kilometers an hour, but the intelligent cruise is fantastic because if it recognizes that all of a sudden the speed goes from, let's say, 50 to 60, it's going to automatically pick you up to that speed as long as your tolerance level is at 0. And then it's all based on tolerance, which I'll explain once we wrap up the video here, but it's very straightforward in order to adjust and use this system. But the intelligent cruise, if it goes the opposite way, let's say drops from 60 kilometers an hour down to 50, it's going to automatically lower your speed if you've got the adaptive cruise system turned on. So it's a really great system, and it's all based off of speed sign recognition. So most of the time, the car is able to pick up the change in the speed signs. Sometimes it's not. You might hear the occasional chime happening there as well, and that's because the lane centering system is no longer active because the vehicle's determined that it can't recognize the lane markings. So I did mention you need the lane markings in order for the vehicle to know exactly what's going on. So it's super straightforward using this thing though. Nice casual city drive, which is fun. The system itself is great. You're going to find it across the entire Lincoln lineup and then also in the Ford lineup. So it is available optionally in some Ford vehicles, standard in some others. Just going to depend on which version of the vehicles that you're in. But this specific one that I'm using for this video, it's the Corsair Reserve, highest available package that's available on top of that. So it's the 201A version, which gives us a lot of other fun features. So one of the cool things, so adaptive cruise here, it's brought us down to a complete stop. So the adaptive cruise system has the stop and go capability. if you're in just like regular stop and go traffic on the highway, if you don't come down to a complete stop, or if the stop happens for like a brief second, it'll resume automatically. But as of right now, it's saying that it's stopped. So I can see that in the head-up display as well as in the cluster screen. So we know that the system essentially is stopped, so we have to resume it in order for the system to kick back on and come back on again. But again, very straightforward in order to be able to do it. Once traffic starts moving, you just hit the resume button. On the Aviator as well as the Corsair, it's in behind the steering wheel. Inside of the Nautilus and the Navigator, it's going to be on the front side instead. So cars in front of me starting to move here, and let's resume. Oh, somebody's turning, which is perfect. That'll slow me down again. Oh, no, they changed their mind. Never mind. All right. But it's perfect because the speed should be going from 50 to 60 coming up. So I can show you exactly how that process works. It's honestly, it's really cool. I knew that it slowed you down. I didn't realize that it also picked you up for your set speed on top of that. But it's amazing. I love the way that the system works. So on a 50 here, vehicle should recognize in a second that we're going to 60. See if it actually picks it up. Because like I said, for the most part, it does pick it up. It does occasionally miss, but it's pretty good at picking it up though. Yeah, so there we go. So it changed to 60. You can see it in the head-up display, and then it's also picked me right back up to that speed on top of that. So I love the way the system works. Like, it is so smart just to be able to pick up our speed, drop as necessary on top of that. And I've got the lane centering system that's now kicked in and it's active. It's showing canceled right now just because we're not going quite fast enough and it didn't recognize the lane markings there. But it should pop on. Oh, this is nice and comfy though. And it, like I said, really straightforward in order to be able to use this system. Like, I absolutely love it. And we can use all of our different systems, like our lane keeping system, our adaptive cruise control system, in tandem with one another. So really smart technology. I'm not gonna lie, the first couple times you use the system, when you come to a complete stop, it's gonna play with your head a little bit. Like, you're not gonna necessarily trust the car. You'll probably be riding the brake a little bit, but just knowing that the car is smart, it does have the capability to bring you down to a complete stop. Like I said, you're probably gonna wanna ride the brake though. That's gonna be your like gut natural feeling until you really get the hang of how well the system works. But giving myself plenty of time, you can see here, so it's 60, it's automatically, like, my feet are completely off the gas and brake, but it's taking us down 43, 45, picking us back up to our set speed again. So again, just really smart system, and it works incredibly well. And we can easily toggle the system off. So I'm coming up to a light here, so I do need to cancel the system out right now because as smart as the system is, it doesn't take into effect lights. So there's obviously somebody in front of me here, but it's not going to slow us down automatically there. So that's something we have to be conscious of as we're driving. You have to manually control certain parts of it. It's a common sense type of thing, just like regular cruise control. But the adaptive, just that much smarter because it's got so much great flexibility. Like, here I am just relaxing. Car is not quite driving itself. So I've got the lane centering system turned on, I've got the lane keeping system turned on, and I've got the adaptive cruise control system on all at the same time. So like I said, all these systems working in tandem. The only one that you're not going to find in the majority of the Lincoln lineup would be the Blue Cruise feature, so the hands-free driving that Ford introduced, or Lincoln introduced for some vehicles, so 21s and 22s. We should start to see a really big rollout of that Blue Cruise or the Smart Cruise feature in a lot more Ford Lincoln vehicles over the next couple of years. But it's hands-free driving on highways, in certain highways. So it's not going to be every country road and things like that where that system will be available. It is going to be a very specific scenario. But it's nice. Like I just hit resume there and we're going. On the Aviator, the Corsair, we've got our buttons to increase or decrease 1 mile per hour at a time. On the left side. The right side, we've got our lane centering system, our distance indicator, and that's something you can see as I go. I'm gonna constantly be playing with the distance indicator. And the reason why I do that is because I like to give myself a little bit more time, especially if we're coming up to a red light. I personally find that if it's on like 1 or 2 on residential streets, it's like a little tight for stopping distance there. So I normally just recommend on regular city streets instead, to just to make sure that you give yourself a little bit more distance. So kind of like that 3 or 4 distance, especially if you're coming down to a stop. But just regular kind of stop and go, 2 is probably going to be ideally where you like to be. But I mean, smart systems all around. As I mentioned, because we're not going fast enough, oh, there we go, and it doesn't recognize the lane markings. If you start to take over the steering wheel rather than letting the system do its thing, it's also going to stop you as well. So something to think about there. The system is smart, but at the same time, if you go to try to take over yourself, it will it will essentially toggle the systems off for you. That's the same for the adaptive cruise control system, etc. But really straightforward there. Like I said, using it easy, can easily toggle it off all at the same time. But that's the process of using the system, so the adaptive cruise control system inside of Lincoln vehicles. Like I said, this specific one was the Corsair, but it's going to be the same for the Corsair Aviator, with a slight difference in the Nautilus and the Navigator. What do you think? Super straightforward video, but if you have any questions, ran into any problems, drop down in the comment section below and let me know. More than willing to talk you through any issues that you might be having. You can also find a series of different walk-around videos for these vehicles on top of that. So for the Corsair, the Aviator, Navigator, Nautilus, etc. Find all those in the description on top of that. But if you enjoyed this video, thumbs up, share it with your social networks, and until I see you next time, take care.